What is up, beautiful people? How's everyone doing? Hopefully, everyone had a wonderful Wednesday. The markets have been, I guess, great for either sides. First to the upside, then to the downside. And if you were able to capitalize on either directions and start off your day great, even if you kept trading for the rest of the day and caught both the directions, you clearly had a great day today. So many stocks in play. It was just a fiesta, open buffet on the market. I got to take advantage on I think four. I only have four stocks today, surprisingly enough, traded, and all four of them winners. I remembered to take screenshots, so we'll talk about my trades on the day today. We'll go through where my mistakes were. How can we possibly trade those positions a little bit better? We'll also be going through all the stocks that might be of interest tomorrow, the ones that we think will be in play, such as the earnings catalyst, CRM, Salesforce, and also Snowflake. So a lot of stocks on board to go through, and we have a long watch list. So I think it's time to just get right to the chase, cut everything. No time to be wasted because we have a lot to be talked about on the day today, and tomorrow, obviously being the end of the week, or sorry, end of the month. It's going to be the rebalance day tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to most likely have a lot of stocks going into play in the open, into the close. Throughout the day, you're going to be seeing positions move around all day, so it's going to be very interesting. And for that, we need to do a little bit of a research. I'm going to do my best, my best attempt of scrounging the internet, finding the best, going through all the resources with you guys online on live here, and finding those stocks, finding those positions that we might need to keep our eyes peeled out for, just in case they start giving us some sort of a movement on the day tomorrow, because once again, the rebalance day. So lots and lots and lots of stuff to talk about, and let's start off with the first thing we always do, which is my trades on the day. Ooh, why did that play? Let me quickly turn that off as soon as we transfer over. So where is it? Oh, that should be over here. There we go. Turn that off. Oh, I had a button over here to turn it off anyways. I could have just turned it off clicking that. Okay. My trades on the day today, like I said, I had four stocks traded, and I traded all of them pretty damn well in my opinion. But some of them, I had a couple mistakes, and I could have traded them way better. And here's how I think I could have fixed those problems. So to start off today, Pinduoduo 140. We talked about this 140 area yesterday. We talked about how the stock ran up to 139.87, 139.93, if I remember accurately. Never really tested 140. So today, if for any reason the stock was about to, march through 140, we saw that 144 area was a possible expectations for the north side room for Pinduoduo. And as you can see, the stock actually goes above 140, goes right into 144, right around 144.50, doesn't have any more power to keep on charging up north side, and then reverses right back down, at which point we could have gone short. You see how I closed my long right in front of 144 also, because I didn't expect the stock to do much higher than 144, and I was accurate with that expectation today. But looks like I missed out on a big move to the downside on the short side. Later on, I was able to flip to the long. So what were the mistakes in my opinion? The mistakes were right off the open, that 140 area. I could have waited. I could have waited for the stock to get above 140, come back and show me some buying at 140, which it never really had off the open, right? It goes above 140, comes back down, stops me out. You can see right there as a red triangle, I get stopped out. And then when it goes back through 140 again, I get right back into it. So I could have waited. Sometimes what the stocks, if there is buying above 140, what it should technically do is go above 140, pull back to 140, have some buying at 140, and then charge back up, at which point you can buy the dips into 140, or you can let the stock go above 140, come back below 140, you see a bottom somewhere near 139. I think the bottom was near 138 87, 138.70 or so. you see the clear bottom, you know where the stops should be at that point, and then you can look for the longs when the stock goes back through 140 with your clear stop somewhere in the lows, giving you a monster move to the north side. A little bit of a lower risk to reward, kind of, but the mistake was not being able to know where exactly where my stop should have been the first time. So it was just a monkey trade, getting in on the 140 break and then quickly getting out if 140 was not holding. The second try, getting back in on the 140 break, getting out at 141, and then getting out at 144. Later on in the day, you see me when the stock gets back to 140, kind of trades around 140. I tried to get back into a long. I get scared out, so I get rid of one lot size that I get in at flat entry. Then I add to that position at 140.50 break. And then I see the stock kind of struggling at 141, so I get out of the whole trade. Then later on, I get back into the trade. I add to that position. I scalp that position on the way out, and then closer to 139, as the stock is going down. And now I'm really thinking, 140 is not holding. Today's low is 138.93, 138.87, something like that. Yesterday's close is 139. How stupid would I be to not see if the buyers from the open / yesterday are still present in this area before I get stopped out? So I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to wait. I'm not going to get stopped out. I waited for the stock to kind of show me some buying in front of 139. Every time it went to 139, it would pop right back up. It did that twice. So the third time, I would buy in front of 139. It would pop up into 140. I took some size out in front of 140 just to protect myself. And then I was able to capture a little bit of a bigger move into 141, just shy of VWAP over here on Pinduoduo. Later on in the day, it just kept giving you that opportunity to keep taking that dip by longs. But if you look at the chart pattern, it kind of screams that we are not able to hold above today's VWAP, and the best price for the stock so far is being rejected. So that's the overall idea for Pinduoduo. Able to capture a nice move from 140 to 144, exactly like we planned last night. So that helped us capture. I think Pinduoduo was my number one trade on the day because of that. So let's shout out to Pinduoduo on the start for today. Another stock that we traded, Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree came out with earnings pre-market. Did not really have this area mapped out until I walked into the office, opened up my computers, my charting softwares, pulled up Dollar Tree, looked at how Dollar Tree was trading in the pre-market, and I found Dollar Tree was, off the open just ripping. I was technically waiting to see how Dollar Tree would trade into this 116, 117 area, but there was a lot of buying off the open that kept me away from trying a short into 117. So I stayed away from it. Then I pulled the chart back on a longer time frame, and I saw this area near 122 previously acting as a wall on the stock. So into 122, taking some shorts, giving that risk right above 122, never got stopped out. But at the same time, the stock had a lot of buying in front of 120, and we saw how the stock behaved off the open, even with the negative earnings report. Even with the negative earnings report, Dollar Tree turned a negative move in pre-market into a positive move off the open, and was holding that 120. So did not like that 120 action, took my profits in front of 120, and I figured I'd get back in if 120 actually broke on this position, at which point I do get back in and I'm able to have a little bit of a ride to the downside. This one was a keystroke. I was throwing out an order at 119.94, but instead I think I just hit enter without actually putting in the number. So that gave me the position right away. I punched out of that position for pretty much a flat exit, because that was not the price that I wanted, but I could have technically had that order still there and thrown my stop out to the north side. I don't think that stop would have triggered and captured another ride to the downside. Later on over here, I try having that short. I get stopped out. I move on, but you could have got a quick little scalp. As you can see though, Dollar Tree, even with negative earnings report, monster move to the north side, turning a negative move to a positive move, and actually managed to close or get back into that 122, get back above VWAP on the day. So pretty interesting to see how the stock trades tomorrow. It's also on the watch list on the list of stocks that we will be going over after looking at the next two stocks that we traded on the day today. The next stock I think should be Net. And shout out to Sky Elrog, Skyler Elrog, or Sky Elrog. She, he, they, them. Not trying to be rude. You know, whatever gender they are, or however they identify. Pointed out Net yesterday on the stream in the chat. They pointed out Net and asked me if I could take a look at the stock. I took a look at it. The 76 area was very, very interesting. So was keeping the stock on watch. And also CrowdStrike, monster reversal on CrowdStrike. I did not actually trade CrowdStrike today, but monster reversal on CrowdStrike. It did exactly what we wanted it to do based on how the earnings report read out. We were looking at the earnings report yesterday. It had actually flushed off the earnings report initially, but in pre-market we got above 215, 214 area, and a monster move up to that 232 line that we put down yesterday on CrowdStrike. So pretty good move overall, and I think this move on CrowdStrike helped out Net in a little bit of a way to get above that 76, find buying, and continuously keep on going higher, almost into that $81 area, which I'm waiting to see how the stock trades when it does push into that price point. So taking that 76 breakout today, it does push above 76. Very light volume off the open. I think the stock was not even actually open exactly at 9:30. It's a New York stock. New York stocks don't exactly open at 9:30. Sometimes they open at 9:01, 9:02, 9:03. Depends on the broker who's actually managing the stock at that moment to settle the books and so on, and open up the position. But NASDAQ, they open exactly at 9:30 because it's all automated. So New York over here, don't think the stock was actually open. I took that 76 breakout, immediately got back under 76. I said I'm not going to hold it for too much. I'm just going to stop myself out. The second time, once the stock actually opened, I had an order sitting at 76 because at this time the stock had already opened and started running up to the north side without me. So I figured, you know what, I'm not going to chase it. I think I already missed my trade over here. I'm just going to wait at 76. I had an order sitting at 76. The stock goes to 76 and instantly pops right back up to the north side, allowing me to take some profits on the immediate pop, and I did that just in case the stock struggled right into the 76.50 area and went right back to the south side. So protecting myself, taking some profits, and then able to take a bigger move up to the north side, which I get stopped out when the stock looks like it wants to return back to the south side. But yeah, I get stopped out, and then it actually returns a little bit higher without me and actually manages to go way higher later on. I was looking for a long into the 77 dip buy. I was actually waiting at 77. I think the stock turned around at 77.20, 77.15 instead, and missed out on a big move to $79 on Net. Still waiting to see how it behaves into that $81 price point. Also on the watch list, we'll talk about why that 81 price point is important, and we'll be looking forward to see if there's a day two play on this stock after breaking out that significant $76 area on the daily chart. Last but not least on the day today for me is Farfetch. I think that's what the company name is. FTCH dropping 50% on the day. Big downside move on FTCH. You could have caught an SSR long right off the open around 103. I think that was the original low right here at 103. If you were waiting in front of $1, you know, technically the stock should not get below $1. It should hold $1, at least according to, well, there's no according. Just simple logic. If it holds $1, you get a long over there. If it doesn't hold $1, you just get out of that trade. So the stock originally off the open plummets to the downside, holds 103, just shy of the $1 area by 3 pennies, and then launches up to the north side, almost up to $1.38. So you could have got not just a 16R win that I got. You could have got a 40R, 30R win. You could have taken 10,000 shares in front of a dollar and risked that break of a dollar to the downside. The stock is already trading so much shares that there's so much liquidity being offered. You could have taken immense amount of volume that you want on this price point, right? So once you get loaded up in front of a dollar and the stock's not really pushing too much lower than a dollar, what are the shorts going to do? They're going to start taking profits and they're going to start punching out. Any new short that punched into the stock today or any into the shitty prices over here slightly above a dollar, they're going to be punching out for a loss. So they're going to be a little bit more aggressive than the profit takers. And that's going to create this nice little short squeeze. In a way, it's not really a short squeeze, but nice little intraday short squeeze with shorts covering for profit or for loss, and then intraday longs entering this position, maybe some long-term longs entering this position at the $1 price point. Not sure why you would be thinking of doing that when the stock is down 50 freaking percent, but whatever it is, I did it, right? I did it today over here. Getting into that dollar, getting a nice little 40R, 30R win to the north side. I, however, was not interested in Farfetch yesterday at all. We talked about how I'm not too interested in this position, but when I was cycling through stocks to look for to get into a trade, I found that the stock was pretty damn close to a dollar. Today's low 103, or at least at that moment 103. I figured, okay, I'll just wait at 101. I'm not gonna chase the stock at 103, 102, 105. I'm gonna wait at 101. If they fill me at 101, I'll take that fill happily. And then I throw my stop out right below $1.99. If 99 cents breaks, get me out. I'm done with that trade. As soon as I get into the position, I think in the next 5 minutes or 10 minutes after I get into the position, it starts getting a little active and you get that nice little pop up to the north side. I get a nice little 15 cent pop, giving me a 16R win. I was basically risking 1 penny, maybe with slippage 2 pennies, and without having to even worry about that stop coming into play. We got a nice pop up, and then the stock eventually did manage to break a dollar and get below a dollar if you are looking at the chart at the moment. So it does get back below a dollar, but I'm already out of the position once I see the stock really struggling around this 105, 106 area, not really able to go back above. So I'm done with that trade. That was the pop I was looking for. I got my pop. I got my 16R win. I'm out of it. So nice little quick scalp on FTCH with the SSR mechanic. For tomorrow, however, not interested in that stock. So it is not on the watch list. Not on the watch list. Going to the chat over here, let's see what the chat's talking about. JJW saying a firm up 250% year to date. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot about what is it called? A lot about buy now, pay later picking up. Buy now, pay later apparently getting boosted. I mean, it makes sense, right? Economy a little bit tighter. People are looking to save money, inflation, and so on. So maybe people are actually going out there using services like the buy now, pay later services from a firm. I think Apple has some sort of a buy now, pay later service already, or they're coming out with one. Not sure if they already have it, but I know they are coming out with one. And it just makes sense, right? If you can save yourself a couple dollars right now, so you could purchase 2 things instead of 1, and just pay over time as you're still continuing to make money, hopefully through salaries or income or jobs or whatever it is, then people would kind of opt to do that. It makes sense. So Affirm getting a nice little boost off of that. We've been watching Affirm for the last few days. Today I did not really watch Affirm. I was way too busy with my stocks that I was watching, but we will go through Affirm. It is on the watch list if for any reason there is a trade to be had on that one. Ford had an insane gap today. It was so insane. I was not sure if it could be shorted. I only noticed it rejected 1097. The exact price of the start gap down off earnings October 27th. I mean, yeah, good for Ford. I think the GM had some sort of a catalyst that probably helped out Ford. But I'm not really interested in trading Ford or GM. There's way better stocks with much more volatility, in my opinion, and a lot more volume to be traded with. I'm just not that interested in trading Ford or GM. But GM did, however, have that catalyst. I think the catalyst was a $10 billion buyback. Their EPS is $7, which is pretty crazy. What else was it? I think they were raising their dividend by 30%, if I remember accurately. I'm just trying to jog my memory here on GM from what I read in the morning from the CNBS watch list. So yeah, 30% increase on dividend, $10 billion buyback. Which is obviously very, very bullish, and that probably helped out Ford with a nice little gap up and giving some help for the swing traders and for the investors, for the day traders. I'm not really too interested on Ford. All right. The next section over here, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, stock buyback, GM catalyst. Yes, sir. The next section of stocks over here that we're gonna head over to is the watch list, the nice little beautiful watch list that I have created for us. At the start of the watch list is the list of stocks that we will be interested in because there is earnings season still. Isn't it amazing to watch stocks move around through earnings? Because we love catalysts. We love catalysts and reasons to be looking at positions. Ooh, kind of forgot about Zscaler. Yeah, forget Zscaler. Starting off with Snowflake, CRM, Okta, Synopsys, Victoria's Secret, PVH. These are the list of stocks that we'll be taking a look at that announced after the close. Couple of stocks that announced tomorrow pre-market. Kroger, not really too interested in Kroger, but pointing that out to you, not also interested in TD or RY unless there's actual big moves on them tomorrow in pre-market, the gap around or something. Then we can kind of take a look at them. I actually have TD in my own personal account. I am interested, however, in Build-A-Bear. Usually Build-A-Bear gives you a somewhat of a decent move to trade out of. Maybe big lots also could be thrown on the watch list over here. Let me quickly go here and see if big lots is a decent enough of a volume traded stock. Yeah, it is, and the price is not high though. The price is not that decent, so maybe not something that we will be too interested in for big lots, so we'll leave that one alone. And tomorrow after hours we got a bunch of amazing stocks being announced. Marvell, Ulta Beauty, UiPath, Dell Technologies, so a bunch of good companies over there to possibly trade off of, and that'll be talked about tomorrow. So make sure you show up at 8 p.m. Monday to Thursday, every single day, baby. We love doing this. So let's start off with the stocks announcing earnings today after hours. The first one is Snowflake. Snowflake, let's see what Benzinga says about Snowflake. Snowflake beats Q3 estimates on top and bottom line share surge. Okay, we like to see that. Snowflake said third quarter revenue increased 32% year over year, which beat consensus. Okay, that's a pretty strong beat. The company reported quarterly earnings of 25 cents per share, which beat analyst estimates of 16 cents. That's also a pretty strong beat. Product revenue came in up 34% year over year. Not bad at all. 23% year over year on remaining performance obligations total to that, blah, 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 blah. Snowflake said it ended quarter with 436 customers trailing 12-month product revenue of more than $1 million. Product revenue grew 34%. We already read that, representing 70% year over year growth on adjusted cash flow. These results reflect strong execution in broadly stabilizing macro environments, says the chairman. Snowflake sees fourth quarter product revenue in the range of 716 to 721, up 29 to 30% year over year. The company expects full year product revenue of 2.65, up 37 billion. What is the estimates though for the full year, or sorry, for the fourth quarter? I get we don't really see the estimates for the fourth quarter, but we already see what the company is expecting. We don't see what the there it is. No, that's just what they are. Never mind. So we don't really see what the expectations are for Q4. But they are guiding pretty high already. So Snowflake, as you guys can see in the Benzinga reports, looks like a pretty solid move to the north side. So let's go check out Snowflake. look at that. Nice little pop up to the north side, right into 188, 194 was the exact high. And somewhere in 188, 189 areas where Snowflake is currently trading in. If we were to zoom out, oh, it looks like we had some lines previously on Snowflake. But where is the stock currently at? It looks like right there, right? Yeah, it hit 194 exactly. And that happens to be this triple top. So if for any reason the stock is getting above 194, you might want to be interested in that, right? It kind of looks like a no-brainer over there to us. We also have a little bit of a zone over here that might come into play tomorrow based on how active the stock wants to get to push into this 200, 205. I think we can easily see these areas coming into play. I will not be surprised seeing 203, 205 in pre-market itself, honestly. In pre-market itself. So 194. What is this range? 203.50. $205.66. For support, we're kind of looking at the earnings anchored VWAP right around 187. In my opinion, the stock should in pre-market do something like this, right? In pre-market, do something like this off the open. We burst off of here. We burst off of here off the open. And then where's my drawing tool again? Hello? Oh, there it is. Burst off the open. We are here somewhere off the open. And then we drop. Kind of like what Pinduoduo did. Kind of like what Pinduoduo did. So we do this. Then we burst. We go here, trap some longs over here, and then we kind of come back. Maybe we kind of don't really come all the way back towards down here, but somewhere come somewhere down over here and find some support off that 194 area, in my opinion, at which point you could possibly try some longs. So you want to see how that 194 area plays right off the open. I'm very, very interested to see that 194 zone. And for supports, I think this 187.50, kind of how we traded into the, what is this, 186, 187, 186.50 to 187, basically. I'm not typing anything. I love it. 186.50 to 187. I would love to see the stock hold up in that area and then push up north. If we're already up here into the pre-market, I kind of want to only trade off the break of 194 if it sets up for a good break off 194. So I'm expecting to see Snowflake push out into 205. I think 205 is, I kind of want to draw that out again just so I could have it ready just in case it plays out tomorrow. So we have this. I'm going to change this to, can I change my colors? Let me change my colors. Okay, whatever. This is still pre-market. Oh shit, fucked up. So that is what I am expecting tomorrow to happen. So we got a nice little move in pre-market. We got a breakout of this area. we push into the 205, we reject that 205 area, we come back into this 193 area, we hold some support somewhere in front of 195, 193, and then we push back here for the later half in the day. So that's what I'm expecting tomorrow on Snowflake. Ooh, my stomach is hurting me. Oh man, we have a lot of stocks to talk about. I love it. Might need to go take a dump. Ugh, such bad timing. Next stock on board here, ladies and gentlemen, CRM. CRM also making a nice pop up. Looks like they also beat on earnings report. Yeah, not that big of a beat on earnings report compared to Snowflake. I'm guessing the guidance is good, but CRM obviously nice boost coming into its own report and price value. Are we into 238? Oh, we're well above 238. We're at 250s now. 250 is where? Oh, we're like up here now on the stock. Okay. Wow. That's pretty interesting. But I don't know what to do with that now. Does this stock go to 270? I mean, I don't think it goes to 270 tomorrow. I don't think it goes to 270 tomorrow. That's pretty insane. I mean, will it? How much is it already up? 8%? I guess it could. 15, 16%. We've seen stocks go up 15, 16%. It could easily go there. So the fact that we are right into this area, which is a previous high on this stock, comes from 2021 February. We've struggled around this 250 area a little bit previously, and then we got above, and then we held this 250 area, or 251, whatever you want to call it. So pretty interesting. And if we can get above that, I think 270 is the only other area that makes sense. So have to watch out to see how the stock behaves on the way there, I guess. As for supports, I mean, 245 to 246. We have something over here around 248 to 249. That's based on the after hour action for anyone wondering why I'm putting that. And obviously we have our resistance and so on up top. Then for supports down over here, we got to see if the earnings anchored VWAP comes into play as some support right around 245, 244 area on CRM. We'll have to just wait and see if the stock even pushes down in pre-market. I don't think it pushes down. We might just see the stock kind of looking like how Workday did today. Workday just blasting off, opening up higher than the levels we wanted to see it open into, and not really allowing us to look for a trade on it today because it was just so damn strong. It was just so damn strong. I couldn't find a trade on it at all, but looks like that 260 area did come into play. And for CRM, I kind of don't want it to end up in that same boat. I want us to be able to trade the stock, give us a pullback, show us some supports, maybe right around pre-market or even on open, give us some pullbacks into supports, allow us to get long, and then give us a nice move into 250 or a higher move above 250. So I would love to see that one play out that way. OKTA. Okta not too long ago had a little bit of a security breach problem that brought down the stock quite a bit. And obviously the earnings reports for most of these cloud computing companies have been coming out to the north side. So most of these stocks probably helping out Okta in one way or the other. I am interested to see, however, how today's earnings report for Okta did. And it looks like it was Yeah, a big beat. A big beat on 49% beat on EPS over there. So shout out to Okta. Big beat on EPS. Quickly trying to throw in the anchored VWAP for the earnings move. Which is currently, wait, this stock announced earnings pre-market? It was supposed to announce earnings after hours. That's strange, but I guess it announced earnings pre-market, and we kind of already traded the earnings move today. Then I thought Okta announced earnings after hours. At least that's what this calendar tells us. But looks like this one already announced and didn't really do too much of anything for us. So might just have to remove Okta from the board. However, we do have some areas over here. Looks like it already bounced off that support today. Got right back up to the north side. Now Okta is just nothing for me. So I'm just going to remove this one. Delete row. Done. Deleted row. Delete it from here too, and we move to the next stock, which is Synopsys, SNPS, SNPS $500 position. Are you kidding me? How did you do in the after hours off the earnings? You did good. You popped up. Congratulations. Very, very light on volume. Do you at least do a million shares on a day to day? No, you don't. Your 30-day average volume is 700,000. So you don't even do a million shares on average. You did do, however, a million shares today. You look like you're at an all-time high. You are at an all-time high. So blue skies to the north side for the stock. If we do get a pullback into 550, which is right over here at this high into 550, that could be a little interesting to look for a dip buy on Synopsys. 550 dip buy opportunities. If we can hold up over here at 550, 555s, then maybe we can get a bigger move up to the north side. But if the stock is already higher and higher, then you kind of just have to trade based on what the stock is giving you at that moment, because all these levels are new levels, areas where the stock has never really been in before. So it will be new price discovery for all of us together. The next one is all men's favorite company, Victoria's Secret. Right? Victoria's Secret. We love it. We love Victoria's Secret. We love Lululemon. Do I need to say more? However, for the earnings report, it looks like they are actually getting beat up. They missed on EPS. They missed on revenue. We need to buy our woman more Victoria's Secret and Lululemon. That kind of right. We need to buy our women Lululemon, so we can raise the prices of the stock, obviously, right? Raise the price of the stock. Lululemon, however, the great Canadian company, my gosh, going right back into, ooh, I kind of like that level. Kind of like that level. Wait, we'll put it here, right below PVH. 438. Let's just say 440. We can get a move above 440 on Lululemon. That could have some fun action over there, ladies and gentlemen. We could have a lot of fun above 440 on Lulu. And as for supports, not too interested to look for supports. Okay, going back to, however, the stock on hand, Victoria's Secret. You actually didn't really do too much in the after hours. Kind of just stayed in today's range in the after hours. First dumped down, then popped right back up, and just stayed in the after hours, in today's range in the after hours. So not too interesting at that moment. But let's see how the stock trades maybe above 24. If today's report is good enough for the stock to stay in today's ranges, then I would expect the stock to start trading above 24 and higher. But if we're not trading above 24, then maybe a short on the break of today's low, somewhere on the break of 23, could give you a nice move to the downside into $20 on the stock. So Victoria's Secret support 20, resistance 24, infliction 2280. If 2280/23 can't hold, could look for shorts into $20. Okay, next up, PVH, another clothing, footwear retailer kind of company. Also had an earnings report today. Let's see how they did. They actually got clapped along with Victoria's Secret. Oh, Victoria's Secret didn't actually get clapped, but this one, however, getting clapped, moving to the downside. That's what the getting clapped means for some of you boomers in the chat over there. Get rid of that box. We don't need that box anymore. We are dropping down to what, $87? So let's zoom back out again real quick. $87 is right around here. This is a lot of choppy price action. The stock also doesn't really do a lot of volume. I'm not too interested. However, if we do break below 85.50, that could open up a lot of room into $80 for my downside action trade. So 85.50 breaks. If stock can get under 85.50, can look for shorts. Don't short into Don't short into 85.50. So my point is, don't short 87, 86. Just don't worry, don't bother with it. But if the stock does manage to get under 85.50 right over here, based on how it traded for the recent 3 days in a row, if we can actually get under 85.50, 85, 83, 85 to 85.50, 85 to 83, basically that level, then I'm kind of very interested to see how the stock trades on the way down all the way to $80, $81 or so. But not too much of a priority. Not too much of a priority. It will kind of just be on the back burner to see if when I'm going through a list of stocks to trade, maybe I'll even throw an order to just get short on the break of 80, 85.50 or 85. And when the stock does manage to do that, then I'll kind of pull the stock up and start managing my position and seeing what to do with it, what not to do with it. Until then, I might not even do anything with the stock. Why are you changing my fixes? The next stock over here is Kroger. Not really too interested with Kroger. It's I'm pretty sure Kroger is getting bought out by Albertsons, if I remember accurately. I can't remember if it's you know what, we can do this. Alpha rank merger acquisition deal sheet. Kroger, KKR. Good thing I didn't say 3Ks, because that would get me banned. Is Kroger no longer getting bought out? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, H, I, J, K? There's no K, there's no J. So did the deal fall apart? It's still approved. Oh, never mind. Pending regulatory approval, would close in early 2024. So I'm pretty surprised why Alpha Rank sheet doesn't say anything about KR. Usually that website's on point, but it looks like the deal is still kinda in talks. It's still waiting for the regulatory approval. So tomorrow's earnings report, not really too interested to trade that earnings report, because the people who are really looking to move the stock, the hedge funds, the institutions, they're all waiting on the bigger news catalyst, in my opinion, which is the deal actually going through or not going through. Does the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, or the DOJ, the Department of Justice, do they allow the merger to actually go through or not go through? And I think that's a way bigger catalyst for Kroger than this earnings catalyst at that moment, and that will be kind of unraveling going into 2024 apparently. So the next stock on board that we're going to jump right over to, however, Kroger will still be on my list of stocks to talk about or flip through tomorrow, quickly adding Lulu to that list of stocks over there before I forget. But not really too interested to even chart or look for trades on Kroger tomorrow. The next stock, BBW. No, not what you're thinking. BBW, Build-A-Bear Workshop, coming into possibly as an in-play catalyst tomorrow, because we have this stock announcing earnings pre-market. Some levels over here we're kind of boxed in between 27 and 24.50 on a positive earnings report. I think we actually trade above that 27 area, right into this box a little bit. Let me just kind of throw that line down there and a line down here. Nope, not there. Line, come on, please, magnet. So somewhere into 29 to 30.50, I think, is where the stock pops into on a positive earnings report, and then a break of that range, we could possibly see a bigger move up to the north side, or a reject of that range, we could see the stock getting stuffed down. And on a negative earnings report, I think a break of 24.65 is imminent. We see the stock already below that in pre-market, and we kind of look to see how the stock trades on its way down to $20 if there's an opportunity to short into $20. So BBW, I'll put down some levels over here tomorrow in pre-market based on how the stock trades in pre-market off the earnings report. So not really going to put down any levels over here, because I think the stock will maybe make a little bit of a bigger move for myself, and then I don't want to have to rethink my whole mind and kind of have to fight my last night's bias to today's morning buyer. So I'll just create the trade idea tomorrow morning. Next few list of stocks over here are the stocks that announced earnings sometime this week or even yesterday. So CrowdStrike pumping into the north side still. We got that move into 232, but I think the stock still has a bigger room to the north side up to 242 before we see kind of what we saw happen with Pinduoduo, which is go into that 144, trap the longs into 144, and then flush right back to the downside. That 144 area, I thought honestly 144 would come into play yesterday. Did not come into play yesterday. Was watching Pinduoduo like a hawk today for the break of yesterday's high near that 140. We got that 140 break. We got the move to 144. We got out in front of 144 and we took our profits. However, if we were so confident that 144 area was going to trap people, why didn't we not take the short off that area? So we missed out on that trade today to the downside. But I think that same type of setup is coming closer to show up on kind of CrowdStrike. So CrowdStrike, we need to see support into that 230 area, 231 to 230 showing some support. Today's VWAP actually exactly near 230. So as for supports on CrowdStrike, I need to see 230 show some buying. We need to get above today's high, which is 235, 236, 235, get above that for that move into 234 area. So resistance 235/235.60 for a bigger move into 242. And as for inflection points, we're kind of looking for maybe 232 is the inflection point, right? Like somewhere in middle. But I think this is a support. That 230 is also an inflection point, I guess. Maybe I don't know what inflection point is, honestly. But in my opinion, 230 is where you need to see support. If 230 doesn't show support, then you might want to stay away on that position until we go see support at a lower price point. Maybe the earnings VWAP comes into play instead on CrowdStrike. Workday also had a big move to the north side. Not really sure what I really want to do with Workday. This one's a little bit different. Also has that same potential trap near 282 area for Workday. So maybe you can just wait near 282. That 260, if we do get support at 260 again, you can look for those longs off that support being built into 260. If we do get above 270, then maybe that room for 280 does show up as a trade idea for Workday, but this one might have a little bit lower volume, so just be careful on the day tomorrow if you are interested to look for a trade on Workday. Next stock on board, Foot Locker. Not really as interested in Foot Locker as I thought I would be, because I was mainly short biased on the stock. So that kept me away from a possible good long trade. The earnings report was good. I guess my personal bias on this stock or not today, but the day before that, maybe here. maybe here. One of these days, Monday or Tuesday, I forget which day, the stock had a little bit of a downgrade catalyst, and it actually reversed that whole downgrade. So maybe that was a little bit of a indication over whether the stock was going to go higher if the earnings report was positive, and I should have been ready to play that. In my opinion, though, you didn't really get any good opportunities. The stock opened up here, pushed up into 28, and just kind of died off and traded sideways all day. So no real good opportunity to trade Foot Locker, in my opinion. That 28 area is still acting like an absolute wall. You can see that 28 area from here. So if for any reason the stock is finding a struggle into 28 up to what is today's high, 29, a fail break of 29, you can look for shorts to get right back into 28 for the stock. And there's a lot of supports over here to the downside, all the way from 28 to 26 to 25. So you kind of don't really want to be shorting the stock into these areas. You kind of just want to wait on the fail break of 29 to get short. Other than that, I don't think you want to be short in the stock. And in my opinion, I just want to stay away from Foot Locker. Pinduo Duo, we got that set up exactly what we wanted to see near that push to 144. Now that the push to 144 has played out, we also saw the trap at 144 and the flush from that area. Now the question is, what did the stock do between yesterday's VWAP and today's VWAP? So we kind of have this pattern that we're seeing on Pinduo Duo kills a day 3 play. It absolutely kills a day 3 play, at least according to that book that we've been what's the word I'm looking for, that we've been advertising like crazy, right? So that book, according to that book, this pattern doesn't really look that bullish, but at least the price action, in my opinion, if we do see buying come right back into 139 and hold 139 on Pinduo Duo, there is a possible attempt to get long again for a move right back to 144. So for Pinduo Duo, I would need to see 139 holding. We closed at 141.73. Today's low 138.64. But yeah, I need to see 139 holding, and then that resistance is still 144 area on PDD. Next stock up on board, Roku. I guess this was day 1, day 2, day 3 play. You kind of got a day 3 long if you were looking for that setup. Let me just put an anchored view up here, kind of see what that one looks like. Yeah, this was, so it exactly did what a day 3 stock kind of should do. It bounced off of yesterday's anchored VWAP and pushed up, so pretty good action over there if you were looking for that long based on that chapter 8 play. But it wasn't really in my book, but now you get the idea. Day 1, day 2, day 3, not really too interested to see what Roku does tomorrow. And I think we have a lot of other stocks that are actually in play in better ranges and kind of a little bit more interesting to see what they do. However, if Roku does manage to push into, we can wait. We can wait on Roku a little bit. I think Shopify is in the same basket. We can wait on Shopify a little bit. Shopify is making a range at the moment, trying to find supports. We already see where the sellers are. Shopify not able to really trade properly above 74.50. Every time we get above 74.50, Shopify clearly seems to fail that 74.50 to 75 area. So once again, if we do push up into 74.50 to 75 and not actually able to have buyers, Shopify could possibly set up for a nice short into that 71.40, which is that support area that we're looking to see if the stock can once again hold up into. So look out for Shopify over there. I'm going to jump the watch list over here to Palantir, because Shopify is looking a lot like what Palantir did today. So Palantir, you can see this level right here around that $20.24. Let's say 20.30, right? $20.30 has been a little bit of a trouble on this position for quite a bit of a time now, and we've been talking about that trade idea. If the stock is not able to hold up above $20.30, there's a possible long over, if it does hold up, there's a possible long off of that area. But if it doesn't, then you have a beautiful short coming into play. We missed out that opportunity 3 times. I just sat there watching the stock reject it again and again and again, and I just could not pull the trigger to get short on Palantir, the main reason is we were holding off right into yesterday's anchored VWAP. We were holding off of yesterday's anchored VWAP, and we were kind of rejecting today's anchored VWAP, mainly rejecting that 2020 high, 2030 high, and creating a range. So yeah, we see a buyer, yeah, we see a seller, and I don't really want to be trading in between, so I stayed away from it. However, if I traded the ranges, I would have been able to make some profitable trades on Palantir, which I was a little chickened out by. Tomorrow, I'm interested to see if the stock is able to get back above this 2030 and actually show buying above 2030. Show buying above 2030. That $20 to 2030 area needs to hold on this position for us to be interested in that long. If it doesn't hold, then still not interested on Palantir. Next stock on board was actually Affirm. So let's go to Affirm. Someone in chat earlier mentioned that Affirm was up 250% year to date, and they are not wrong. I mean, this buy now, pay later stuff is getting a little wild. I think Affirm actually has a move into $40 before we see some sort of a trouble coming into play. But as I was talking about Roku and Shopify day 1, day 2, day 3 play setups, this one is basically done that now, right? Day 1, day 2, day 3. I'm not sure there's a day 4 play. So we'll kind of have to wait and see. Maybe a pullback into somewhere around here would be interesting to see if we can hold this area on Affirm for a bigger move up. If we're able to break out of 35, that's also an option to look for a long into. Hello? If we're able to break. Oh, that's why. If we're able to break out of 35 and hold above 35, then that could open up some room into $39 and $40 on the stock. As for supports, we're waiting to see how that. Go back in actually real quick. Yeah, right around this 32.30 to 32.50 area. Let's just do 32.50. 32.50 area to see how that holds up as support. For net, I think net 90, or sorry, not 90, 76 is still my support. I'll have to wait to see how the stock trades around 76. 77 has shown some support. So maybe, you could look for some buyers into 77 and have your stop on near 76 because that was the original level. I would still not stop out of that position until the stock tests 76 if I'm trading around 77, just so you know. And I would think you should probably do the same thing because it would be stupid to get out of the trade before 76 is tested if you're getting long at 77. So if that's the case, why not just wait at 76, right? However, I do think we see 77 holding up tomorrow, and for that bigger move up to the north side, I'm not going to be punching long on the break of 79 because we could just see trouble coming in at $81 on net. So I would rather wait at 81, see if it traps those people at 81 like how Pinduo Duo did at 144, allowing me to get short at 81 if the stock is already making a move into that price point before testing 77, before testing 76 for us to get long into. So net, pretty high priority for me tomorrow because I did pretty damn good on it today. Zoom, I think, is kind of in that same basket of Roku and Shopify. You could look for longs into the 76.50 area, but I'm kind of just leaving it on the back burners along with Roku and Shopify. Not too confident about any of these levels. Zoom is also chopped around very much. I mean, maybe if my manager gives me some levels on Zoom that he finds interesting, then I might pull a trade off on it, but I'm not really too keen, too interested to pull off a trade on Zoom there. But however, on Square, I think a level that I just spotted real quick just by looking at it, that 65 area, if we do break, look at that. Triple top on the intraday 5-minute chart. If we do break out of that 65, I think that opens up a beautiful room up to 67, 68 on this position, 67.50 to 68 on Square. So let's see how that stock trades on the breakout of 65, move into 67, 50, 68 dollars. And as for supports, I think we can expect yesterday's high, which exactly was today's low, kind of hold up near that $63 price point on Square for a test of longs. So excited to see how Square trades. I think Square can actually set up for a day 2, day 3 trade tomorrow. This kind of looks like day 1, day 2, and then day 3 trade. Hold up into this. I think actually this was day 1. No, day 1. Today was day 2. So tomorrow we can look for that day 3, at which point we maybe test that 63 area, or we just break out of 65 and go into that 67 zone that I'm very, very excited for. So Square, maybe, is there any way to kind of, oh, I can. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, that sucks. That only, oh, I can do backgrounds. Yes. Oh, that kind of sucks. Nah, that kind of looks scary. Yeah, let's do orange background for anything that we think is important. Yeah. All right. Next stock is Coinbase. Well, basically the whole cryptocurrency sector. Wow, Coinbase. Wow. Coinbase is a little overextended, honestly. It's down 0.3% today. Looks like it perfectly rejected that 130, 150, 132 area, which is exactly where we had a line. Tomorrow we could possibly get above it. I wouldn't be surprised if we do get above this area. All of that though depends of what is Bitcoin doing. Bitcoin currently still at 38,000. Let's go back to that 1 year chart. Still at 38,000. We're not able to really burst above 38,500. Still struggling at that price point. Let's also head over to Bitcoin Wisdom. Bitcoin Wisdom IO. Go to the aggregated heat map. See if there's a seller here at 3850 that's kind of cock blocking this position here. Yeah, you can see that seller cock blocking, taking fills and not really pushing down. But we also have a pretty strong buyer at 36,650 at the moment on Bitcoin. 36,650 right around over here, and that kind of supports our theory from last night's stream where we said buyers are stepping up. Buyers are no longer waiting at the same price. They're waiting higher, and they're willing to bid higher. You can see these buyers stepping up higher and higher and higher as Bitcoin is continuing to make that move up north. So all of this obviously is bullish catalyst for Coinbase. Coinbase did give you a nice short opportunity today, I guess. It did basically nothing. It traded sideways. It did give you a bunch of short opportunities if you were looking for it. However, I think I'm going to just be patient on these stocks such as Coinbase, Mara, Riot. They are moving around. They are holding. Look at this. This is picture perfect day 2 trade. If yesterday was day 1, even though it wasn't, even though yesterday wasn't day 1. If yesterday was day 1, it held yesterday's VWAP perfectly. So shout out to Mara for that. Riot also making those move up, but I'm not, once again, not too interested in these positions at the moment for Riot and for Mara. If anything, Coinbase is the more interesting stock to trade. More volatility, more volume means more opportunities to make money and more opportunities to lose money also. So if you're interested in that. Micron was kind of in play 2 days ago or yesterday, but I'm not really sure it's in play for me, so I'm just going to remove it from my watch list. Also going to remove it from here. ARM, someone yesterday in chat pointed out ARM, and ARM was consolidating around its VWAP yesterday, so I looked for that long, and it did give me a beautiful long, but I don't. The volume is dying down again on ARM. It's not really doing too exciting stuff, so might have to remove it from my watch list. Not something that I'm really excited to see what happens tomorrow. All right, the next stock over here is Wayfair. Wayfair had a pretty monster move yesterday or the day before that. Yeah, the day before that we broke out of that $50 area. So that's day 1. Day 2, this would be considered day 3. So now it kind of dies down. So the question is, what does the stock do in a possible move into 62.50 or so? And I think we possibly see some rejections into that area. So I'm not interested in looking for a day 3, day 4 trade on Wayfair. I think this one is kind of dying down. You can see the volume decreasing on the daily chart. Not really. Wow, okay. Volume's not really decreasing and the stock wants to continue going up. So I guess if we do push up into 62.50, we could see what happens, but until then I'm not too interested to short this position. And if I'm interested to go long, where would I possibly expect support? It's kind of a yesterday's high, right? Yesterday's high, nice little double bottom over here on that area. Also a bottom over here on that day. So that's right around $57. So let's go scroll back right exactly around 57. That was also yesterday's close. So $57. If the stock does pull down, we can expect some buying coming in off of the 57 area. The next few stocks, ladies and gentlemen, are all our beautiful large cap baskets. So large cap baskets, I usually say are a no play unless the market's actually giving us some volatility and some moves on the day. Today, however, ended up being that day. QQQ with a nice little flush to the downside after making a pop, and that kind of set up the whole downwards move on all of these positions, such as Apple gapped up and then bang, got hammered right back below 190. Microsoft below 380. You could have shorted 380 and instantly had $2 or so, or $3 per share. Damn, why didn't I take that short? I fudged up on that side. But Microsoft 380, Amazon not at 150 still, but it's at least trying to get up to 150 every single time, and close enough, almost $1 away from there. So these large cap stocks are at pretty decent levels to in my opinion have an eye on it. Tesla with its Cybertruck event, I thought that was today, maybe it was yesterday, whatever it is, but Tesla pretty active. It was holding 250 for a pretty long time when the market was flushing off. So Tesla, however, down 1% today. Could be worth for a watch tomorrow. It usually moves $5 to $10 ranges. Pretty rare Tesla doesn't really move around in a big range like that and doesn't really bring in 100 million shares. As you guys can see, the average 30-day volume on Tesla is 126.5 million shares. So lots of opportunities to trade this position if you are interested in it. Nvidia kind of same basket, but not that much amount of volume as much as Tesla brings in. So if you are interested to look at the large cap basket, it's kind of getting ready to get active one more time. But if you zoom out on the QQQ chart to the daily chart, you can see how we're just boxed in at the moment. The QQQ is boxed in. The QQQ got a little active when we broke out of that range high. Everyone thought the market was gonna go for a nice long, but all it did was trap people, and that's where you got the south side move on Apple. That's where you got the south side move on Microsoft and everything. The reason why I'm showing you this, however, is to look to see what the market does at 388. We need to see 388 holding. If the market is for any reason trading to the downside near 388, if 388 holds, then expect a nothing burger move on the market again, just probably sideways. And also we have the market rebalance tomorrow. The S&P 500, not the S&P 500, sorry, the Morgan Stanley index is getting rebalanced tomorrow. So there's a good chance that big hedge funds and big institutions don't reposition themselves until the open or the close of the day, and don't really try to do too much in the middle, right? They might try to be cash until they get the actual information from their brokers or their imbalance locators, how our imbalance locator tells us at the end of the day, and so on. I know Trader TV Live shows you guys all the time that, so you guys can probably look on their streams. So QQQ, not expecting too much. SPY, not expecting too much. Look for those buyers into those levels on the SPY at 453.50. Look for those buyers on the QQQ at 388. If buyers do show up around these prices, then we could possibly look to get long on Apple, on Microsoft, and so on. If they don't, then you could possibly look to get short on the same tech basket. But I don't think we get below 388. That's my call out on the market. I don't think we get below 388. A stock that went a little crazy today, VSVO, is that the one? Do you guys remember the stock that went absolutely crazy today, up like 1,000% or something? VVOS. VVOS. So quick shout out to VVOS for you small cap gods over there. This stock went absolutely crazy. Someone said a black swan event. I guess this is what a black swan event is. A stock that was at $3.80 in pre-market, going up to $48 in the regular trading hours, and absolutely squeezing the crap out of the shorts. That 20 breakout apparently was the trade to be in, and if you took that 20 breakout, you got almost $20 per share on this position. What a monster breakout to the north side. VVOS has previously maybe done something like this from $32 to $74. So yeah, it has done this a bunch of times. It's done this a bunch of times, so could get interesting tomorrow. We'll see what happens on VVOS if this one gets a little bit more active. Maybe have this one on your watch list also, but obviously a little scary of a stock, a little scary position that you want to be trading with 100% attention and focus if you are thinking about trading it. But shout out to anyone who did trade it and made money on this. You probably smacked the long and killed it. Shout out to all those warriors who profited. And sorry to all the people who lost money. It's just in the game, name of the game. You know, someone needs to lose for someone to win. That's just how it goes. Okay, next on board is the economic calendar. The economic calendar is looking a little active. We got OPEC meeting at 5 o'clock in the morning, so that's probably going to move the crude futures, the crude market. We got initial jobless claims coming out at 8:30. That's also going to move the market a little bit. PCE apparently only a 2-star. I think that's a 3-star, no? But PCE 2-star, personal spending 2-star. All of this at 8:30. 9:05 we got 9:05. That's the Toronto phone code, or the Brampton phone code, whatever. 9:05 we got Fed member Williams coming on the microphone. We saw Fed members, who was it today? Bostic, not Bostic. I forget who. Somebody, Barker. Barker. Barkin was barking on the microphone today, causing the market to move around a little bit, in my opinion, and brought the market down quite hard by himself. And I think obviously the 10 o'clock number also brought down the market quite a bit. What was the 10 o'clock number? Oh, there was no 10 o'clock number. The number was at 8:30 today that made the market gap up, and then the market just absolutely got smacked down. But tomorrow we have quite a bit of important economic data. Once again, 8:30, 9:05, and then 9:45, and then 10 o'clock. Chicago PMI at 9:45, and pending home sales at 10 o'clock. Pending home sales probably not that important. No, actually could be important. Could be important for inflation. I was going to say that pending home sales probably important more for insurance companies, home builders, and so on, but maybe also worth it for inflation. But Chicago PMI for sure, something to keep an eye out for, because that's something that the Fed keeps an eye out for, inflation. And initial jobless claims, also a key metric that the market keeps an eye out for inflation. There you go. Core PCE is a 3-star event. I was thinking of PCE. Why is that a 2-star? Core PCE, 3-star event. That's at 8:30. So 8:30, 9:05, 9:45, and 10 o'clock. Good times to keep an eye out for what the market might do, and a good time to keep an eye on your positions to make sure that you don't get caught offside or caught off guard when these stocks are going against you at those time periods, right? So keep an eye out for the economic calendar at that time. Quickly, as we have a little bit more time left over here, let's go do some research on nine Indian stocks. Ooh, I like that. Tata Motors is getting added to the MSCI index. Maybe I should start trading the Indian market. What the hell is this? Oh, there you go. We see it says 46 securities will be added and 69 will be deleted from ACWI stock index, while 14 will be added and 2 will be deleted from the Frontier Market stock index. So obviously a lot of stocks getting added to the index and a lot of stocks getting deleted from the index. Now the question is for us to do the research, find out which one of them are Canadian, American, which one of them are important for us to keep an eye out for. Not really seeing any big names over here. We do, however, know one company that is being added to the S&P 400 or the 600. I forget if it's 400 or 600. It's the Carlyle Group. And ever since that news got announced, I have that anchored VWAP placed in. We've kind of been trading just around that price point. So I'm interested to see how the stock kind of gets active or not active going into the day tomorrow. Do we get buyers coming in? Do we... What is this?
Global index provider MSCI has added 9 stocks to its standard index in the November rejig. Paytm, Indus and Persistence are among those that have made the cut, while there have been no deletions from the index.
Oh, they're just talking about the Indian market over there. VMware already got deleted and doesn't even trade on the stock market anymore. Pretty sure about that because AVGO bought them out. So don't think that's a trade. That was a pretty old announcement. Where do I find the stocks? Emerging markets? No, I want developed markets. I want developed markets. Download brochure. No, I don't want your stupid brochure, dude. Take your brochure and shove it up your you know what. Can't find it, chat. Where do people get these companies? Like how do people even find out? Like when I Google it, they just give me Indian stocks. I don't care about Indian stocks. I want American stocks. But I guess that's the answer that I get. I might just have to go do some research on my own time for that garbage. For some reason, it won't give me all the list of stocks that they are going to be adding and deleting on the market over there. But that's something that I'll probably go ahead and do it on my own spare time later on off stream. And I guess that is the end of the stream today. You guys got saved by not getting hit by the sponsor advertisement, but please However, do go check out all the links right down below in the description. All my affiliate sponsors. Today's show is brought to you by Benzinga, Trade Ideas, and TraderSync. All the links are right down below with the appropriate discount code if you choose to purchase that product, that tool that I use every single day to trade. The next thing is hit that like, hit that subscribe. It would mean the world to me. I'm trying to grow this channel. So please let me know any way you would like me to improve, anything you want to see me add, remove from the stream schedule, and how could I improve the streams for you. And also, all my social media links are down right below also. Please make sure you go follow me across all of my social medias. I try to stay pretty active on Twitter and on Discord. Tomorrow will be the last stream of the week, so make sure you show up for that. 8 o'clock, Monday to Thursday, without failure. So Monday to Thursday, 8 o'clock tomorrow, show up for the last stream of the week, and we'll have a banger trade recap and a good or even better idea generation stream. Kind of losing words over here at the moment, getting tired, and time to call it a night, fellas. Thank you for coming by. See you guys tomorrow. Have a great day on the market, and good night. Peace. You said you counted 99 blessings. You have 831. That was a little bit more about, counting my problems and kind of flipping my problems into blessings, kind of looking at the glass half full, half empty kind of situation. All I see is problems at the moment. All I see is problems. I got 99 problems, but I got 99 blessings is how I'm looking at it. I'm blessed to even have problems because I could be dead. All right. So blessed to have problems. Hopefully you guys have problems that you have to go solve and grow from. And I'll see you on the other side. Actually, good night now. Peace out. And thank you to all my 831 subscribers. I love you guys.